pulled all the tripods out of the van. Let's run through the current working models. I keep 3 tripods on board for obviously up to 3 camera interview days, shoot days. First up is a 12 SB. It's got 12 steps of counterbalance. I can run a little FX3 with a prime on up to like a Mura with a compact zoom on here, and it'll counterbalance out. It's carbon fiber sticks, 100 mil ball, and then as the Sockler spreaders break, I replace them with the B&H Benro models. These spreaders are like a quarter of the cost, and they're a little bit wider footprint in the collapsed state, but they also, you can still fold the sticks up with the spreader attached. Next up is a 15 SB. This one has 8 steps of counterbalance, and it is my main airline travel tripod. I chose aluminum sticks for this one, and same thing when the spreader broke. Now it's got Benro ground spreader on there. This weighs in at I think it's 16 pounds in its current build state without a top plate, and in a Pelican 1615 that is like the majority of the available cargo weight to stay under 50 pounds when airline traveling. Next up is my main workhorse, Sockler 18 SB. This one has got 10 steps of counterbalance, and this is my main workhorse. I think I already said that. When I'm shooting in the van, if I don't have to walk a long distance carrying the tripod, this is the one I use. So for like live shots for news, I'm generally on this head. And then in years past, I would run my Amira with a 30 to 300 zoom on this head, like shooting sports, or a compact zoom Amira dual battery plate with a 15-inch broadcast prompter on there that can handle the weight no problem. And with lighter camera builds, it is significantly smoother. You really see it on the telephoto end compared to the smaller size heads. Next up, I've had this one the longest. It's a 20 plus. I'm the 3rd owner. The plus line is the predecessor to that speed balance line. It's only got 7 steps of counterbalance, and the spring doesn't get lightweight enough for smaller cameras. Can only run bigger builds on here. But I've had this in the like Red 1 era, Alexa Classic era, and now pretty much only use it shooting sports on a 10:1 zoom or with the big 15-inch teleprompter. It spends its life now in the garage on standby. It's also 100 millimeter, but the sticks are heavier duty, and I'm on my 3rd Sockler spreader with this head. And from what I understand, the original shooter bought this with a Betacam package. I think it was mid-90s. And then second owner was a production company who I worked for quite a bit. I bought it from them. And over its history, I don't think it's ever been in for service, nor does it need to go in. The little plastic button popped off of here for the release. I could buy any one of those, this thing. But it works fine without it, so I just never got around to replacing it. Okay, so for airline travel, I want to free up some weight in that case so I can carry one more light stand and a menace arm kit. So I want to get rid of the Sockler. I'm just doing lock-off interviews where I'm adjusting headroom and a little bit of panning. I don't need a super nice fluid head. So I asked for disposable. I'm starting with disposable. This is the Kayer FP2450. The 51 model is carbon fiber. It's about 3/4 of a pound lighter than the aluminum sticks, but based on experience with things getting chafed and gouged, carbon doesn't mix well with light stands in an airline case. So starting here, this was under $100 from Amazon. And I was first made aware of this brand. I think too, maybe Small Rig or one of those other brands, newer, have this head rebadged, rebranded, and it's the same thing. But I discovered this Kayer brand from Doug Jensen. He's a YouTuber who reviews Sony cameras and also has like tutorial workshops for sale. I think he also teaches cinematography and lighting at the main media workshops. I've been following his channel for years, super knowledgeable, accomplished shooter. So he bought one of these to use with the Z200 for lots of walking around. And anyway, trying it out. It's only $100. If it ends up being too chintzy for this application, I'm going to put this in my live stream fight night kit, which I have that all redundant now. It stays at the gym, locked up in a cabinet. And I've got an old Liebeck tripod. It's kind of falling apart. This the fluid action on it feels pretty good. We'll see if it starts leaking or getting chunky with use. It's got a spring counterbalance in there, but it's not quite enough spring for Burano 50 mil with a 98 watt hour battery. See, I've got it balanced now, but yeah, it tends to nosedive. The drag and tilt lock are the same lever. So I think, again, I'm shooting interviews, so I'm going to be like variations of this much tilt with the pan. I don't think there's pan drag either. There isn't. It's just the brake. And then it runs on this Manfrotto style plate, or same as like a DJI system. So we'll see. I got some airline travel coming up. We'll put this to the test on the road, and like I said, if it doesn't hold up, we'll move up the expense ladder. Maybe I'll go to like a $300 tripod. Justin, this is how I hide lav. So this is a Sanken with this little rubber Sanken concealer. It just pinches the cable, and then this piece of foam goes over the mic capsule. And then I use this furry tape. I sent you the link for these. And that just goes across here, and then I can either tape that to their skin or their clothing. It's just case by case. And then if they're doing a lot of movement, I'll do a loop of slack cable and then a second piece of tape. So then when the cable gets tugged on, it's this tape that's taking the load versus this one, so you don't hear the cable on the mic. Worked a fairly typical interview day. This was local for us. It was a long day. We were like on site for 13 and a half hours, but typical two-person and single-person interviews with two cameras. In the two-person setup, it was both people looking at the producer off camera. Those are always such a frustrating compromise on composition and lighting, but we got through it. Prepping for a drive to West Texas tomorrow. I had the transmission service today, transmission shop. It was way overdue. I just emptied out this nasty portable toilet. We used it during the Texas floods. Like the whole extended crew that was with me, producer, correspondent, Beck, and myself, and it's been just sitting, cooking in 100-degree Texas weather in that van. Oh, just so gross. So anyway, get that re-prepped for emergency purposes. It was a lifesaver being out off the grid, no electricity out there covering the flood in outside of Hunt, Texas. Van is ready. We're doing drone and I think just FX3 B-roll. I could actually take the car out there, but I don't want to risk the 5-hour drive each way, getting rock chips on the 10 freeway. So we'll take the van, have all the other resources available. The mirrorless cameras and the Ronin are still in the house. I got to put those in my airline roller because my next several jobs are all airline travel. Did you bring the drone in?
Nope.
I guess you can go back out for it.
Yeah.
Once we get settled. West Texas, Permian Basin. Brought the whole van out here, and I think this is going to be the extent of our day. Lots of hydration, a little bit of gimbal, mostly drone. Highway 285 in Texas. It runs through the Permian Basin, known as the oil patch. It's one of the deadliest roads in the state, possibly the country. It depends on who you talk to. I just looked it up. But regardless, a lot of horrific crashes and deaths along this stretch of road, mostly from oil field big rig drivers that are fatigued and or inexperienced. Got a lot of people out here hustling, pushing the hours and pushing the limits, trying to, make a fortune, working in the oil patch. This was a rare stretch where there's actually 2 lanes in one direction, but got through it again unscathed. But I wouldn't want to be out here after dark.